What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 71 of the XtraSlice, brought to you by the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. Joining me, as always, we have the mayor of Stardew Valley and Eorzea, Chris Montalbano.
I mean, Resident Evil 8 did not just have to hit me in the feels that hard.
We got the most degenerate squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
Here to punch God in the face, one demon at a time.
And we got the Akatsuki do-rag, who just is apparently refusing to wear his Akatsuki do-rag. He started up a new trend. Do you want to be the black do-rag, Madrid Devon?
I don't like the way that sounded. Why the do-rag gotta be black?
Because it is. That's how light refracts off of objects.
So, the ray trace do-rag, boom.
The ray trace do-rag. I'll write that down and completely forget it by next week, so there's that.
You're welcome.
And joining us for the first time, we have a very special guest. We have the gaming content creator, the only one, like number one right here.
Yep.
Alrahlo.
I'm just here to play my games.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon games getting release dates. We're going to be talking about this Apex Arena Flash event. We're going to be talking about the Final Fantasy game being brought to you by Team Ninja. We're going to be talking about Overwatch 2, briefly probably, because not a lot there. And we're going to be talking about the Monster Hunter Rise 3.0 update, because I've actually had a chance to play something before the podcast for once that drops on a Wednesday.
What? Playing video games?
What?
Ooh.
And being a gaming
Right.
podcaster?
Well, I mean,
Those don't
I
go
played-
together.
I played a lot this week. I'm one trophy off platinuming Aerial Knight. I unlocked the Stormblood Alliance raid to play with Chris in Final Fantasy 14. I've been on shit, man. Like, getting in my time where I can. Knockout City's been the one casualty of, like, I downloaded it and it's been sitting there and it's just moving slowly to the right of my, like, home menu. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll knock it out eventually.
I mean...
I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry. I'll go sit in the corner now.
Proud of you. I'm actually upset at myself I didn't think of that.
I was mad that I didn't take my Switch yesterday. Yesterday would have been a good Switch gameplay session.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't bring your Switch?
No,
bring a
I
Switch?
brought the little phone clip for my DualShock so I could like remote play my PS5 from Chris's house because he's the only other person with internet good enough to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, because we've played like Rocket League and I did like the Praetorium drunkenly at your house one time. So I was like, oh, we could do this Stormblood Alliance raid. And Chris is like, oh, you got to unlock it. I'm like, oh, is it super quick? He's like, no, they talk a lot. Little does Chris know, I was completely willing to skip all of those cutscenes. I'm just going to watch the story on YouTube. I'm not about to...
I should have known.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
I saw the one where, like, the ship flew over the, like... It was outside of Kugane, and then, like, it flew off and went to, like, the desert. But
That's the start of, like... That's just the start of it. It's like...
no, that's, like, in the middle. I had to skip a couple cutscenes of, like...
Oh, because I got to get
the
there
lighting
and talk
was
about
weird
it.
as shit. Yeah, I have to find the person who's like, oh, this shit might happen. Then the shit happens, and I got to talk to like two little girls about their lives, and then a ship flies.
It's relevant to the lore of the Final Fantasy universe.
Yeah,
you know?
but I'll get somebody who's read all of the lore to explain this to me in a 5-minute YouTube video, like I did with the other.
See, but then it's
raid
gonna be
stories.
biased because they're gonna put their own personal preferences on it, brother.
Hey man,
They
I'm the one who's
regurgitate
gonna
to
be
you.
out here slaying some giant. Like the Alliance raid bosses are always some weird shit. It's been like 5-headed Cerberus, like bipedal women things. It's like a
Bipedal
ball
women.
that is just literally. It looks like it could possibly be the universe. Is what just this one singular ball that you fight is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say Chris was looking like apprehensive. I'm like,
just
Chris,
the
none of this
just
is
the uniball.
in-
Just
Yep.
heard.
Omni ball.
I think monster
Think
designs in this one is actually a lot cooler.
So you've done
Really?
the Stormblood one, or have you?
Yeah, I had
seen
to
the
do it for
Stormblood?
the. No, I had to do it for the relic. So I had to beat it before I could start the quest to get my relic weapon.
So I guess
So
I'm starting
you-
the quest.
Yeah,
When I
you
do
doing
the
this
same
now
way.
and doing the Heaven's Ward before is going to make shit a lot easier for you when you're in
Yeah, I've just been as I've been
Shadowbringers.
getting further in the game, I've just been doing the alliance raids. I'm like, they made me do Crystal Tower. You were like, oh, you should do Crystal Tower. I started up the stuff, then the story was like, you should do Crystal Tower. I was like, oh, cool. I have that unlocked now. So, Al, for people who don't know you, and myself included, because I followed you on Twitter like 2 days ago, who are you? What do you do? What's your deal?
So I primarily play now first-person shooters. So you'll catch me on something like Apex. If I don't know, I'm feeling frisky, I might pick up something like Rainbow Six.
Oh.
But I primarily play story-based games. So I'll play things like Detroit Become Human, The Last of Us.
Okay.
That's more of my zhuzh.
Also, I watched some of your like your Hitman playthrough, because I'm like, I'm not gonna play
Yeah.
Hitman, but I'll watch somebody play Hitman. That game is wild,
I like to be,
you know.
It is. It is. They have like such huge maps and like so many things you can do. It's like you become the hitman. So I love games like that where I can just like insert myself in it and I can actually feel like I'm playing the game.
Yeah, that's
Because
dope.
you look just like Agent 47. Like, you can really see yourself in that character.
I love it.
Just a well-dressed murder machine.
Yo, him
Put
out in
that on my
Germany, that shit
tombstone.
was wild. Like Agent 46 be getting in some situations. So like, it seems cool how you can approach it from different angles. Like, did you go back and like replay that game a lot, or was it kind of just like?
Well, no, because just like, let it go. No, I stopped after I finished the main campaign only because Apex came out with so much new stuff and I'm trying to like be the best player I can be. So that's taking a lot out of me
Apex
right now.
is just like sitting here judging me for working. It's like, how dare you
Yes.
have a fulfilling job and a life outside of cracking Pathfinders in the arena?
Right,
Like,
you just hear, hey, you over there working? Why don't you come play with old Fusey?
right.
I got a few knuckle clusters. We can tackle some
I got the
hooligans.
brewskis.
Come on, just dudes being bros. No, Apex is definitely like consuming way too much of my time for me to be in silver.
So, I mean, we'll talk about, I guess, the Arena Flash event now. The thing with the Arena Flash event is I thought it was terrible when I first started it. So I didn't get to play any yesterday. But today I hopped on and I was like, okay, I'm going to start this up while I'm waiting to play something else. Because Chris was on his way home. And I was like, okay, if he gets here before the Monster Hunter update, I'll play Final Fantasy with him. I'm just here to pass some time. And so, like, a lot of the other events, they cap you out at 1,000 points a day. Even if you do, like, all the event objectives, you're typically capped at 1,000 points. And as of today, there are 5 days left, and you need 5,000 points to get that Bloodhound skin. So, and each individual challenge is giving you like 100 points, not even 200 like all the other events. But they don't cap you at 1,000 anymore. I don't know what it is, but I hit 1,100 before I switched to Monster Hunter. So
what
least
are you,
on the
what are
bright
you
side.
doing in this event? Because I haven't actually gotten the chance to play it yet.
it's
So,
just like
Just arenas.
arena
just,
challenges. Yeah, like
Did they throw any razzle dazzle in arena, or just same old
Nope.
shit? Just do these challenges.
well, one of the challenges
Get
I've
sniper
never seen
rifle
before was
knockdowns.
no, I had win 2 arena games in a row. So I've never seen that
That's
challenge before, and I had to do that earlier. So
It's like I could do it. I would have to sweat for that one just a little bit.
right,
From my actual
the
build.
first one we won off a sudden death, and then the second one I was like, all right, I am going in here. We are not going all the way to final round.
Yo,
again.
sudden death after you win, after you clutch down. Let's go.
That's when I start bullying people in text to chat. I'm like, what's going on? Let's finish this game.
Why is my armor red? No, like the way the
Exactly.
music changes, you get red armor. It's like tons of coins. It's like, oh fuck.
I'm just out there like unloading the Spitfire like just to crack somebody. It is.
Yo, that is the type of shit that I miss from Overwatch competitive. I'm getting in like Apex arenas, like late game. You know what I'm saying? Like late game sudden death. Like when those situations pop up, it feels pretty adjacent to like early on Overwatch comp. That's really what I miss about that cursed game.
You don't miss anything. You're not missing anything either.
Just toxicity and no vibes, you know. Just anger into the void.
Darkness, shame. There's just like there's so much about Overwatch. So, Al, I guess I'll have you fill us in because you seem to be the only one who watched it. There was an Overwatch 2, like PvP breakdown or like deep dive with the dev team, no longer including Jeff Kaplan. R.I.P. We miss you, Big Daddy Jeff.
He had to leave that sinking ship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We can't blame Jeff anymore about anything.
I never blamed
It
Jeff.
really
I just
hurts.
always deeply appreciated the fact that he was just so dedicated. He made stuff sound fun that I knew wasn't fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the new dev update, they talked about basically what's coming at Overwatch 2, which we still have no release date. That's not a surprise.
2020.
But we don't. Never.
Probably.
Overwatch 2's been in your heart all along.
No, we're just gonna get the maps one day in Overwatch 1, and they're just gonna stop talking about 2.
No, if you have
Honestly,
Overwatch
I don't
1,
know
you're
why
still
they
gonna need to
didn't
play the
just do it as a
multiplayer,
DLC.
isn't it? Or some nonsense like that.
Yeah. So the multiplayer is going to be compatible. Like the PvP part or just Overwatch 1 will be compatible with the PvP part of Overwatch 2. So I'm guessing just across the board they're going down to 5-person teams. And definitely
Yeah.
Is
with
it-
like
Not even like changing it in arcade to where you can do 6-person teams.
I mean, they probably will have it somewhere or something, but it seems like they're going to be tuning the game for 5v5 going forward.
Yeah, and it looks like they eliminated the tank role, which I'm not surprised at because, well, back when I was an Overwatch head, nobody wanted to queue for tank, and if they did, they complained about it the entire time.
I know, I was
So,
a tank main. Like,
Actually-
hundreds of hours on Reinhardt over here, like,
Yeah. See,
I'll tank.
you'd still be fine because you can. I guess main tank still exists.
Yeah.
I guess the role has changed a lot, but like looking at Overwatch League, a lot of the off tanks just lost their jobs basically
Yeah.
because the game's dropping
Exactly.
to 5v5.
Literally half the tanks
Like
in the entire league.
and that makes me
half of
wonder,
them.
like, will a tank like picking Zarya exclusively, like, would that be viable? Like she's an off tank. Like Diva's not about to tank; she's just about to be out there doing damage. You know, I
Well, in
love
the
my Diva.
5v5, apparently they're tuning all the tanks to be more brawly. So you can be in a fight for longer as a tank. So Zarya or Diva definitely still could work in. I mean, we don't know what the meta is going to be. We don't know, like, any of these balance changes really. We don't know these new maps.
My
Like, we
thing
haven't
about
had hands-on
5v5,
time with
they
any
should-
of this.
They definitely shouldn't hard cap it to like the you know, like the way the team structure is set up: 2 DPS, 2 support, 1 tank. Like, there should be more room for like flexibility and creativity and shit like that. Like,
You know, if they
That game's
only
gonna
had
get real
more
stagnant
characters
real
that
fucking
you could
fast.
play
'Cause-
and make interesting team comps with.
right? Because
Mm.
you're probably
Definitely.
only going to be playing 7 characters, like max. That's what it's going to end up being. Like that's just going to be some mid. That's if it ever comes out.
Right.
I feel like they're making people actually like play as a team and figure out strats, which is missing from Overwatch. So if they do that with the bigger maps and limiting on the tanks, I feel like hopefully we get some more strat and people actually play the game how it's supposed
that
to
would
be
be
played.
nice. But at least 3 of your teammates are going to be throwing at all times.
You're down a tank. It's only going to be one person on your team on the payload. That's not going to help anybody.
Oh, you think a Brawly tank is going to be on the payload? No.
As a very brawly Reinhardt thinks about it.
No, it's going to be the one responsible healer, and that's Anna.
Which she should. She has the distance.
Oh, yeah.
She should.
Right? That's unless they give her like a grappling hook. Then it's OV. She's like, yeah.
That's one of the things I'm excited about is the opportunity for them to just really make a lot of big changes at one time and just kind of hit like the game with that shot in the arm it needs. I don't see it happening like
Pfizer?
Huh?
That Pfizer?
Yeah, definitely. that Johnson and Johnson, it could kill it, but right, there's some hope there. At least they're trying,
Yo, they're struggling with baby oil. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. I don't know if you can save that game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right. I mean, I feel like that game's gonna come out and just everybody's just gonna have it instantly because it's just like the curiosity. Hopefully they do another beta because that was one of the things that really helped build the hype of Overwatch 1.
Oh, they definitely have to do a beta for that shit. Even if it's just like
the beta?
Like Overwatch
What
1, just log in and try out online for us and let us know how shit it is so we can delay it for another year.
Well, my thing is, like, you guys' servers are there. You guys have already launched a game, and if this is just the same game, I feel like they learned their lesson after Diablo 3. They haven't really launched. Nothing has been as
Has
bad
Blizzard
as
learned
Diablo 3.
anything?
I mean,
Yeah,
because they're
right.
still, because now they're still Blizzard Activision, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
It's Activision
that's a
Blizzard,
key
brother.
word.
AB.
Yeah, exactly. Tencent, like, come on.
Ooh, that's a low blow.
Hey, they're not the ones who keep buying up really promising development teams and putting them in the Call of Duty gulag. So,
Yeah, shouts out RIP Toys for Bob. Like, goddamn.
What happened to Toys for Bob? They were doing so good.
They're doing Warzone
Yeah,
content now.
everybody,
They went
yeah.
straight to the gulag.
They're a Warzone support team now.
They
Same
were
thing happened to
remaking
Raven.
the greatest games of all time, and now they're fucking making.
No, yeah.
Yep.
It went from Wampa fruit to fucking
Vicarious
grenades.
Vision.
Like, that's what it is.
Neversoft. Like, we just.
How do you
If-
make a wombat jumping and catching peaches to like a first-person shooter?
Dude,
You get
texture
bought
work
by
is done.
Activision.
Right.
That's how.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm mad.
They take you you're an animator, so they're gonna put you on one gun skin that if it doesn't sell more than $1 million, you're fired.
I better be able to get a Crash Bandicoot little dangly thing.
Oh, what?
A gun charm.
A uvula?
But yeah, so, I mean, I guess that covers like the shooter section. So, this brings me to a point. Last week we were arguing about what's the difference between PlayStation and Microsoft, and I was saying that the reason PlayStation's dominant and will continue to be dominant is because they're first-party stable of games. They have exclusives that are just like on a different tier than anything Microsoft has exclusively. This week, Square Enix just decides to be like, oh, you forgot about us? Gives us another exclusive Final Fantasy property. So now, legitimately looking at Square Enix for the next year, we have Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. We have Final Fantasy 7 Intergrade like next month. We have Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 sometime in the next 15 years. We have
15 to 20.
we have Forspoken. We just have all these. All of these are exclusive to PlayStation. Each and every single one of these titles I just named.
Except for Endwalker.
Well, I mean, PC. Like, a lot of these will be on PC and PlayStation, but as far as
Giving out
console,
too much credit.
they are not
So
coming to Xbox.
Forspoken's like a PlayStation 5 exclusive, timed exclusive or exclusive?
They said 7 Remake was a timed exclusive, but 7 Remake has been out for like a
they
year
bought
and a half.
themselves some more fucking time with Integrate. They're like, Integrate, 6 more months, baby. Type shit. Like, I could see 7 being on another console before the year's out. Like,
Yeah, I maybe PC, maybe like part 1, but without the enhancements, that'd really be like the kind of final like fuck you to Xbox of just like you.
But at the same time,
Integrate's
like,
out, but
if-
you're just getting the basic.
if we want to pull this conversation back out, like Xbox has still purchased all these other like studios, and they have these shits. You know, they have games cooking. You know, like this is about to be a long console generation. Like I know Sony has them too, and they're like, you know, they already kind of had their foot on the gas. Like they're buying shit up from like Square Enix, but like the amount of games that Microsoft is buying and like pumping on the Game Pass is fucking ridiculous.
Very true. I re-upped my Game Pass subscription because they gave me 3
exactly.
months for
That's
$1.
the same thing as having an Xbox.
Shit is tight.
I mean, I have an Xbox. It's
Well,
just
there
the
you
Xbox
go.
One. But there's not the only thing exclusive to the new console is the Medium, which I'm not going to play anyway. So I booted up Tetris Effect Connected. I was like,
It's not bad. It's actually kind of fun.
the Medium. But you like horror games.
I know. I'm winning this year. I love it.
Yo, Chris is
I'm
fucking
just like, I'm
feasting.
just out here living my
He's
best.
like, I'm
Yo,
actually
actually-
bad.
Actually, as a JRPG nigga, I'm feasting as well. I just don't have the fucking time for them.
Laughs in
Very
SMT.
true.
And as
Rise in Nier, SMT, Persona 5 Royal,
yeah.
Final Fantasy
I'm ignoring
7.
that. That last one I'm just ignoring completely. That is
No,
not my problem.
But also as an Apex nigga, feasting. Their content has been on it.
Honestly, like that's the reason they put this blue skin as the 5,000 point reward for this event, and I'm like, this is a blue rarity skin, but this is like really hard. Like I have Bloodhound and Octane are probably the 2 characters I have the most legendary skins for, but they also have so many skins that are just blue rarity, and it's like this just goes that hard. And I mean, Apex, they've really kind of been in their bag lately with like the skin designs. Like we haven't gotten anything too crazy new, like revolutionary, like a new yellow skin or anything like that lately. But
See, also,
I mean,
you can
last
judge a
season
fandom.
was full of that.
You can judge a fandom by their memes, and Apex has some of the best memes out right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Very true. I've
What's the last
seen
good
more
Overwatch
Apex
meme you saw?
TikToks than any other video game TikTok.
You can.
As
Right?
somebody who's just not on TikTok, and I just like whatever TikToks are on the timeline or in Instagram stories or whatever. Really, Apex has been the #1 game that I've seen TikToks on. And if you control the memes, you control the media.
Is TikTok
That's true.
a meme now? Are they making memes?
Chris is showing.
It's just
his age.
it's just another content farm.
Right. It's Vine.
Okay.
Chris,
Yeah.
to explain TikTok, it's just Vine but longer.
It's if Tumblr
And you're
text
old
posts
now.
for
I just
video
like
format.
like Tumblr and like Reddit.
It's Tumblr
is
text
where I
posts,
would.
but videos.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's a perfect description.
Am I old?
and might I tell you, that shit is heroin.
Yes.
Man,
I'm old
man.
too. I can't.
It's just
every
because
time
it's
I'm on TikTok,
The timeline, the amount of the content is also short, and then you can just continuously drip feed it into your brain just over and over again.
Okay, so
And
it's,
apparently
it's
the
morphine.
algorithm is just
I mean,
next
I
level.
get
Apparently
that
it's
like
just-
us looking at just like media and pictures is the same concept of what you just described. The way you just described TikTok makes me want to just stay away from it. Just dripping
you're better off
media
for it.
into my brain sounds like some
based on
Cyberpunk.
a extremely aggressive algorithm. Like
Sounds
the
pretty hot.
algorithm, that's the thing. Like you go to one video game website and the algorithm's like, all right, bet.
Yeah. I told y'all what my TikTok breakdown is.
That's true.
Like,
It's your
Radical
personality
Hotep videos.
as written by an algorithm. That's the thing I don't like. I don't like when apps call me out. Unprovoked. Like if I follow whatever, like that's one thing. But if you're just if this is what you think that I'd like based on very little information that I'm giving you, this is not okay.
oh, do you do the TikToks?
I started using it like a lot. I want to say a couple months ago, but like Anton said, like the algorithm is crazy. If you like one therapist video,
no, it's
like
gonna
you're
call
gonna
you
see
out
a
for
whole
everything.
bunch of like,
Like,
yes, for every single
you're
thing.
sharing my video right now because clearly you
Literally.
need some guidance. So I'm here.
I watched that one
Love
TikTok of that
yourself.
dude who was a Spartan
Drink
who was
water.
just giving a prep talk.
Oh,
Apparently-
yo, that shit's so pure.
That shit is so pure, but like now apparently I'm following him. Like I opened up the app and he was like video number 3, and I never I saw this fucking video on Twitter.
No, the algorithm.
Like
does
how
that.
do
The
they
algorithm
know?
Just does that.
it follows people for you.
No,
This is
it has, like,
the
a
TikTok
discover thing.
algorithm.
Like
This
it's-
right here.
Yeah.
As soon as you see it, it's everywhere. Like
I swear to God, they
Everywhere.
like
Can't
right
see.
Inside of your eyeballs, just like watching what you're watching.
Right. I don't even think like I haven't now that I've said it out loud, I'm completely fucked. Like we said TikTok too many times, like
Oh, yeah.
all our smart speakers, phones, laptops, Twitch is listening to
You're gonna
us.
be
It's
on
like, all
Twitter
right,
and
we
you're
got
gonna
'em.
see a TikTok ad. Like,
Oh, Twitter mobile, bro. These ads out of hand. I said the words Dogecoin out loud once, and they were like, "All right, Coinbase, here you go." Like we have Dogecoin.
yes.
Coinbase does not want
Every-
to leave you alone, but I don't know. Most
this
of
is
those
the
are just
only
pump and
Dogecoin
dumps
you should
anyway.
care about. Yeah, Doge was just a
I'm not
big
letting
one.
my dogs in here. I thought Nioh might have been in here asleep, but the fact that they're not in here, I'm not letting them in here. Summer's just a quiet, like,
Sounds
Yeah,
mad
she
cute.
don't say shit, you know, unless
Right,
somebody
yeah,
knocks on the
Summer.
door.
yeah. But even when people don't knock on the door, even when people are just walking down the road minding their goddamn business, my dogs, they got something to say about it.
It's just that fish beam from SpongeBob.
I know the one with the cup. Is that
yeah. Like that angle on his neck, like that shit is like. I want a y plus mxb, like, you know what I'm saying? The y equals mx plus b, like slope intercept form that shit.
I don't know how we got here. Like, I don't know how
I
slope
don't know either.
intercept form is a phrase that just happened. But, you know, we were talking about the Final Fantasy exclusives. That's how we got sidetracked. But, so, apparently, there is corroborated rumors going around the internet that, like, apparently E3 press conference scripts are leaking. So, that's why we know so much about Square Enix. Somebody confirmed today, Jeff Grubb, I'll credit, like, when I'm actually sure who said it originally. Jeff Grubb said, yeah, Square Enix is making a Guardians of the Galaxy game next. That's their next Marvel property that they've been working on.
Is
Cool.
Crystal Dynamics doing it too?
I mean, you know, I don't think so. I think they learned their lesson and Crystal Dynamics just needs to go back to Tomb Raider. Because nobody had anything bad to say about Crystal Dynamics for 3 solid Tomb Raider games.
Okay,
Like, we had a
so-
whole era of...
Yikes.
Better question: is this going to be a live service game, or are they just
The
gonna-
Guardians?
Yeah,
We don't know.
Or are they just
We
going to
just
give
know
us
that
an
it's-
actual fucking game and not
When we
like,
get a
If they did
Guardians
that,
of the
we'd
not a
Galaxy
payment
game...
plan.
Well, like, so it's Marvel Games. So outside of Avengers, Marvel Games has done a pretty good job overall of promoting Marvel stuff in games. So, like, Spider-Man, like PS4 Spider-Man, Miles Morales, they did all that stuff in Fortnite. And I mean, really outside of the Avengers game, they haven't really had any misses since Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And so... You know?
Okay.
But the other thing, the big thing, the thing that I feel like this esteemed group here actually needs to talk about is the Team Ninja, the developers behind Nioh and the City of Final Fantasy NT, are working on a new Final Fantasy game exclusive to PlayStation that is a Souls-like game. Like in the style of Nioh, but it'll be like the Jedi Fallen Order of
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy games,
Okay, that's whatever.
which I'm here
Okay.
for. Yeah, like I enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order more than I enjoyed like a lot of the other Souls or Souls-like games.
So I want
I
to
think
see
I'd
a
like-
shit ton of Final Fantasy specific Berserk references. That's what I
Yes.
want to see.
You mean Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy 14 has just been a Berserk reference.
Everything's. a
I'm
Berserk
going to go
reference.
pick up my Dark Knight class very soon.
I think you would love being an edgy boy.
Yeah, I think like Dark Knight. Now that it's just a great sword user.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really cool with my giant axe, but you know what I like more than a giant axe? A great sword. And I was like, at first I was like, oh yeah, they look like great swords. The literal description of their weapon is great sword. So you know,
I'm surprised you didn't pick that one to begin with.
I mean, 'cause
you
you
know,
gotta
I
get the
had
heavy
my
for it.
giant axe, and I was happy with my giant axe for 80 levels and 200 hours of that game. So now I'll pick up my great sword and I'll go on my conquest.
That's fair.
Okay, my other thing about this game, y'all think it's gonna have like, be like more like single player like oriented, or have like that multiplayer mode like Nioh 2? Because this could be their like reckoning for
Actually, a
for,
multiplayer mode would be
comrades.
fun.
Right.
Yeah, right. This could be like the redemption arc for comrades. Yeah, I could see it because I feel like Team Ninja has realized their multiplayer modes seem to help their games and their longevity.
Mhm.
Like, the amount of people who are still playing Nioh 2 who weren't playing this long after Nioh 1 came out shows that, like, having that co-op, having that, like, loot-based, having it be like a Diablo Borderlands-like game with friends is a great way to extend the longevity of a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then making it hard is just going to make you spend more time because you're not just like cakewalking. You're not going to have an Outriders situation where Outriders came out and everybody was on it for a week and then nobody was on it ever again.
Did anybody
Actually,
get that?
Outriders is
Any
actually
of us get
doing
that?
pretty well with concurrent players, I hear.
No, the concurrents have fallen off. Like, it had great concurrent players around launch and like when they give out player-based numbers, considering it was free on Game Pass and all of those things. Yeah, the concurrents have tanked.
Well, I mean, their
Like-
servers were dog shit for like the first like month. So that kind of
Yeah,
That
they
could
had
kinda
server
lead to it.
issues. There was a bug that was just deleting your inventory. I'm not going to play a looter shooter and deal with a bug that just straight up deletes everything. And they're like, yeah, we can try and restore it, but it's probably not going to work 100%. I'm like, that is not something I'll accept from a game dev about anything, ever.
Ever. Yeah.
At least it wasn't like, you know, microtransaction stuff, because Apex tried me a little bit at the beginning of Season 9, where, like, all my shit went away. And I was like, this Gibraltar heirloom, you're not taking this from me.
I still don't have an heirloom. I'm still distraught.
You just got to buy a PS5. Apparently, that's just what happened. You get a PS5, and you get... Juwan's, like, first day of having a PS5, he got enough heirloom tokens to buy Bloodhound's heirloom. And that's how he got hit. First day of
That's
having
insane.
a PS5.
Every time I get the
That's
alert for
just
the
ridiculous.
PS5, it's already too late, you know?
I mean, you just got to be a little bit more vigilant.
Yeah, I've been
I'll
half-assing
see
it.
him, but I'll see him, but I'm like, I'm at work, and I can't right now go to Twitter, share this link. Like, I can't do all of that when I'm supposed to just be sitting there entering data about a bunch of people. But yeah, I think
that's
if
real
you were to put in a
responsible.
little more vigilance,
Right.
yeah, you know, me,
That could cause some problems.
trying to be good at my job.
Proud of you.
Yeah, like there was a restock today at like 10:20, and you know what time I woke up? 10:30.
Damn.
Too late.
Fucking late.
I didn't
know,
even see like
it was on
anything
Amazon.
until after I got off work.
Quick.
Amazon had and GameStop sent me an email today about like, yeah, we got restocks.
We
Follow us
got
on Twitter.
no, they got bundles.
Yeah.
I would get that bundle if they didn't have
Oh,
MLB the
jeez.
fucking show. I'm like, I'm not about to buy a game that I know I'm not gonna fucking
See,
play.
if you had
just to get
bought
the
it a
goddamn
month
console.
ago before MLB The Show came out, it would have came with Demon Souls and Miles Morales. Because that was the bundle that was going for
Well, guess
a
what?
very long
I'm gonna
time.
wait till next month when I get Ratchet in that bundle and something else.
Yeah, I guess you'd
We
be
getting Ratchet.
Yeah. Because it'll be full price. It's not like a bundle. It's not like
Yeah,
a
it's-
special edition console.
Nah.
It's like, all right, pay full price for Ratchet. It'll be Ratchet and Returnal, so they can charge you $70 a piece for both of those games.
I can live with that. As long as it's not MLB, I'll be damned if I play full price for that.
I should download it on my Xbox.
I'm not
Because I
saying it's a
think
bad
about it,
game. Just putting
It's
that
on
out
Game
there.
Pass, you know. Knockout City's on Game Pass. Oh man, I'm just out here
See,
Galaxy
you're up
playing
here
this shit
shitting
with
on
Game Pass.
Xbox, but you know,
I'm shitting on their exclusives. Knockout City, not exclusive. What was the other one I just said that
You
I
just sound like a
forgot
hater.
that fast?
you're just a hater.
MLB
you
The
know?
Show.
We're
MLB
gamers.
The
We
Show
should be. We should just
Is no
be back
longer
on
a
the game.
PlayStation exclusive.
Right. But I've actually played MLB The Show like a few more times.
Apparently,
than I've
it's
played,
really
like,
good.
It was just on everything.
If you like
PlayStation,
baseball,
so
that's-
PSP, Vita. Like, there's just be MLB shit all over the place all the time. So,
Chris, chat wants you to
considering
say
it's
the
an
line.
annualized PlayStation. Wait, what?
That's fair.
I missed it. I'm gonna just keep going. Monster Hunter Rise. We got a new update today, version 3.0. I'm only going to talk about the stuff that was covered in the Monster Hunter digital event this morning. I'm not going to talk about... Well, I haven't technically seen anything that wasn't in there yet. Whereas with 2.0, we saw Basilgeese immediately. No, they put you... They're like, oh yeah, we're going to finish the story. There's going to be more content. There's literally one more hunt. Like if you've beat all the Elder Dragons, when you load in, it's like, hey, do this hunt. And then you do the hunt and then it's the end.
Yay!
Right?
Like, game's over?
No. I mean, there's a hunt after that technically you need to make it to HR 100 or play with somebody over HR 100 to just have, because like the minimum level for it is 8, just like it is with all high rank stuff. But I'm hunter rank like 56 or something like that, and my objective was make it to HR 100. Juwan and Radic took me in, and we fought Crimson Glow Valstrax, which is a very interesting spin on the Valstrax fight. Because like
I
the
think
meta
he's speaking
in
English, but I'm
GU
not sure what he's saying.
What is a Valve?
Is it really right? What is Valstrax? It's a legendary Pokemon, actually. Introduced in Gen 9.5 of Pokemon.
Okay.
Valstrax literally like you could go back to Gen 5. It'd be like Zekrom, Reshiram, and Valstrax. He'd fit so well in like Kyurem. Fuck that shit. He's out of here. Looks lame unless fused with a legendary Pokemon. Like Valstrax would definitely fit in that group. They brought Apex and Ogre. I know I'm just rambling to myself at this point, but some of the squad sessions listenership has shown that present company excluded, people like hearing about Monster Hunter every once in a while. So
Yeah, so they should go check out the Squad Sessions podcast.
check out
Available.
right whenever we recorded episode 3 like a month ago, Madrid, and episode 2 just dropped.
It's
So
available.
What is it? Once a month?
It's when
recording or posting?
It's when the
'cause those are
getting's
two
good.
different. Those are two different timelines of how frequent. Are we talking about recording times or are we talking about posting times?
Posting times.
Sure, once a month. That seems reasonable enough. Yeah, so they added Crimson Glow Valstrax. They Apex and Ogre is in the game now. Apparently, there's a new region that I have yet to see. But I think they mentioned it in the digital presentation, and they announced even further out roadmap. Like they've been hitting all their milestones, and they're like, "All right, there's more coming. Have fun." Apparently, they're going to be more Capcom collaborations because they've announced one for every time they're going to drop a patch in between now and the end of the roadmap. So we're going to have a lot of Capcom crossover stuff because we haven't had anything, and like World came out with Mega Man and Horizon Zero Dawn stuff, and then got Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy and all those different crossovers World had in its time in the limelight. And I mean, when we went back to GU, there's like literal Fire Emblem crossovers, Shonen Jump crossovers. The fact that Fairy Tail and Yu-Gi-Oh were in that game, I was like, this is an interesting spot to be at, like in a really old Monster Hunter game, like with Breath of the Wild content.
Wow.
Yu-Gi-Oh was in it?
Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh. There,
Well, what is
Shonen
what
Jump.
is zeitgeist? Just capture the time.
Right?
Just right there. We love it.
Even though like Yu-Gi-Oh's peak of relevance was decades before Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, we'll let it ride.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like a Death Note crossover right now. Like, who's thought about Death Note since the one shot? Nobody.
Oh no, it's still relevant in memes for me. Weekly at that.
In memes.
Your What's Up chocolate shit, that's what keeps Death Note in my mind.
Nah, for me it's always, and I put my hand in the bag. I pull out a potato chip, and I eat the potato chip.
No, it's
That entire scene lives rent free.
it's
rent
RDC
free.
World doing like L in L in Kira. Like that's what does it for me. L in Light.
Oh my god.
That keeps that shit relevant. With those wigs, oh my
Anime
god, it's
House.
amazing. Yes, I said it once. I said it twice. Anime House is greater than the MCU. I'll stand firmly on that. Yeah, yeah. It's because
Her face is like,
I know you might feel
this
betrayed, but
MCU.
I know you might feel betrayed, but hear me out. The way they take the subject matter from the source material and adapt it to their medium is executed better, and like the jokes feel more natural. And now their production value is just going up and up.
Right? They had an official anime ending. Like,
Yeah, and they hadn't missed. MCU has missed. They don't always miss, but they have missed.
right? Did anybody else watch that like Marvel at the Movies trailer thing for like all of Phase 4? That was just like, I just watched that. That's one of those things. It's like Demon Slayer episode 19, the Final Fantasy Endwalker trailer. There's just certain things I'll watch just to like hype me up. And that Marvel at the movies where they had like Shang-Chi, I think that was the first time we saw the Eternals, Thor Love and Thunder, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Spider-Man, like just having all of that back to back to back to back to back like that. Yeah, I'm excited for the current phase of Marvel. Like we got Loki coming up, Black Widow's coming up. Like we got content. We're gonna be over here eating. And I mean, if
they really blew.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they really blew my mind with WandaVision because she was one of those characters like I didn't really
Thanos
care
said,
about,
"I don't know who
and
you
now
are."
I care about her. Yeah.
I didn't care about Sam Wilson.
Yeah,
Even now I do. It's like seeing him as Captain America. I was like, oh, okay. I see the vision. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the superpowers, but you got like these 2 drones and these wings, and you make it work. Like Cap, he can't fly. He's just gonna run. You know, he might get there
really,
like 2 or 3 hours.
really
He's
fast.
gonna sprint like a fucking greyhound.
He's gonna
Like
get there
Tom
like 2 or
Cruise in
3
any
hours.
movie he's ever been in.
But is he gonna just like
Starts
drop down
sprinting like a
on you?
freaking greyhound after a rabbit.
Eagle spread? You know?
Did you just ask if Captain America would drop down on you?
Yeah. Eagle
Yes,
spread.
100%.
That is America's ass.
He's in the
That
rafters.
is America's ass.
How is he gonna be in the rafters if you in the sky, brother?
You know, inside a building, the sky is much lower than you think.
All right, you right there. I wouldn't want to meet
Right.
that nigga in an elevator. That's all I'm saying.
Hail Hydra.
Whoa.
Whoa. Wrong cap.
I feel like I just spoiled like a big moment. But yeah, my one problem with Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the fact
It was too Black
that
Panther for you?
the white. No, I'm mad that they didn't make him a more baller suit. Why couldn't Captain America be dripped in black and gold?
See, I like his suit,
Give
but
me a
it's getting that red, white,
The
and blue.
Wakandans made this man a suit. We saw what they did with Bucky's arm. They took that shit and they freaked it. Why do we have to fucking have Uncle Sam looking
Yo, that was
like...
that was a hella meta reference. Like, if you get it,
right.
Shout out to Future. No, but honestly, like his suit is fire, but like that colorway, like come on.
Black, gold, and purple.
Nope.
I represent America.
What is America? What is he? He's not Captain Drip. He's Captain America. Red,
They're
black,
black
and blue.
Americans.
Those are
Maybe
his
we
colors.
need a Captain
We
He
have
Drip.
to accept
represents
that.
black Americans more than he represents America.
All right. If we look
black,
at it in the
purple,
right
and
light,
gold.
it's just the Puerto Rican flag,
His
you know.
suit even does the whole missing man formation on the front, man. Like, nah.
I just hope his next redesign.
Yeah,
gets
no,
that.
he do got that like that gambit like head sleeve thing going for him.
I mean, I'm sure the whole thing's aerodynamic and whatever. Like, whatever justification, whatever executive put this man in that clown suit, like, whatever executive made themselves think to sleep at night. Sure, whatever. But I'm just saying, if I got a suit from the Wakandans, like, if I just was able, like, if any of y'all ever had the opportunity to tell the Wakandans, hey, we need you to make him a suit, black, gold, purple.
No, honestly,
No red,
I would
white,
have
and
to
blue.
go. I
None
would
of
have
that.
to go
Even if I'm
full-
about to be Captain America.
I would have to go
I don't
full
want it
suit,
red, white, and
honestly,
blue.
because like you're probably gonna get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I have my most precious areas, like i.e. my face and like the top of my head, exposed to bullets? Like, in case of that bitch, like, you know what I'm saying?
Give me some of
Yeah.
that Pharaoh.
Make it see through though, so they know I'm black. You know, it can't have that cop out of like, oh, it's Spider-Man. He's wearing a mask. We don't know what race he is. Like, no, you know. You see my gold grill. You see my do-rag. You know what time it is. It's ray traced.
What if Madrid just, like, manifested a grill out of that?
You know what? Y'all just need to read some more milestone comics. That's what we need. We need some milestone comic movies. Icon needs a movie. Like, let's go.
I'm at the point between Spider-Man and Batman. I'm just gonna have to start reading.
Hey,
like,
I read
comics.
the first volume of Bitterroot, so I'm never gonna.
Yes.
And I got the second sitting right here with the rest of my comics that is unopened.
I have more than my body weight in manga. I don't know.
Damn, son.
Just like legitimately no traditional comics, like no trades. The closest thing I have is the Scott Pilgrim comics, but those are more like manga than they are traditional comics.
Yeah.
All right, so what was I had one more thing on this list, I think. Oh, Pokemon. My one true love. Where's just gonna all the Pokemon.
We got release dates.
We got release dates. We have the Diamond and Pearl remakes release dates, and we have Legends Arceus release dates, which, if I can click around quick enough, I'll have in front of me. But just to start, because I had to scroll past it to get to this, the Legends Arceus box art looks so promising. I am here for this game 1,000,000%.
And this is the one Game Freak is making.
Yeah, Game Freak's not making the remakes. And I mean, it'll just see how deep. It's actually interesting. So, November 19th, I know a bunch of Pokemon games have come out over the years on November 18th because that's my mom's birthday, and I'll have to like get my mom something before I get Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this has happened multiple times over the course of my life, but. So yeah, November 19th, the day after my mom's birthday. Looking at it, I'm probably going to play Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
They still
Was that generation good?
Naming it Shining Diamond.
Like, I need you to explain the Shining Diamond reference. I know it's something with future, and it's probably something I've heard 1,000,000 times. I've just
That's 1,000%
completely
a JoJo's reference.
It's a JoJo's reference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's either one or the other.
Right, with Madrid, it's either future or JoJo's.
Oh, you're right.
Or One Piece every once in a while. Like, when Madrid goes full One Piece Hotep on us, we're not ready. Like, when he starts mixing Hotep theories TikTok with future, it's over with. Or One Piece. You know what I meant. All right. But yeah, so our release dates, we have Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, November 19th. So that's in the second half of this year. We're starting to get our Switch slate filled out.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see more of these games at E3, which will be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Legends Arceus comes out on January 28th, 2022. So 2 months later,
That's tight.
it's like Diamond and Pearl.
That's just
seems-
1,000% getting delayed. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, very true.
I just got a question, just in case it doesn't get delayed. Was Diamond and Pearl a good generation? Because I was too poor back in the day to get a DS, so I never played that generation.
It's arguably the best one.
Every generation of Pokemon is arguably the best one to somebody because, like, I've seen all this Gen 5 love on Twitter. I'm like, no. And then people out
like
of
this.
nowhere
All
are
Pokemon
starting to
games
like
are
Gen
reviewed
6.
Wasn't
better
that Gen 4?
6
in
is
hindsight.
trash.
Am I confused?
Yeah,
All
Gen 4
Pokemon
is
games are
Diamond
reviewed
and Pearl.
better in hindsight.
Very true. And all
Because-
Nintendo games are reviewed better in hindsight.
Because
Looking
then
at
by
you,
that
Wind
time,
Waker.
people have gotten over that this Pokemon game isn't just the last Pokemon game. I like the expansion. And we get to finally sit down, look at it on its own merits, and you realize most of them are actually pretty good.
Okay. Just
Diamond and Pearl was good.
cool.
I enjoyed
X and
the hell
Y
out of
was
it.
too easy.
Especially
Diamond and-
Platinum.
Diamond
Especially
and Pearl
Platinum.
that was the one for the fairies, right?
Huh?
Diamond and Pearl birthed a lot of the furries.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Lucario and Lopunny.
I'm pretty sure it was Sonic.
Gardevoir.
Yeah, but is Gardevoir like a furry icon?
I feel like
or
that's
is,
more.
Yes.
Of I feel like that's more
Gardevoir.
of a plant.
She was a psychic.
Yeah, but she
Or
always
it
looked
was a
like a
psychic.
flower to me. You know, like routes and Curly Gardevoir. They just scream
Gallade.
like plants to me. I know they were psychic types, but still.
I've never seen that, but now I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
As onions, especially like Mega Gardevoir. Like Mega Gardevoir looked like a whole ass onion.
A whole O.
Oh.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Wait, so Al, you said you fell off with Pokemon? What happened?
Yeah, well, like Chris, I had issues. I wasn't getting the Pokemon games.
You gotta get the Pokemon
But
console for the
I
Pokemon
did.
games.
Right.
Exactly. But I did play Pokemon Go, and I played it up until the point they had PokeFest, and I saw like everybody come in town for it, and after that I quit because I'm like, if this is gonna ruin my life that way, like I can't.
Hi, my
So
life's
I
been
quit.
ruined by Pokemon.
Yeah.
We're in a Pokemon
Pokemon
ruining your life
world.
support group over here.
Yes.
As I see your
I always
Pokemon
said
in the
if they
back.
made Pokemon amiibos, I'd be homeless in like a week. Because like I have an amiibo
See?
problem. I have every Pokemon amiibo that exists, including giant Detective Pikachu up there. But yeah, if they were to just decide, hey, all 800 of these motherfuckers are now figures, it'd be bad.
That's your
It's
life.
over.
But yeah.
Gotta collect them all for $20 a piece and just ruin myself.
So my thing still with Legends of Arceus is that if they want that game to be anything, that's just gonna need some more time to cook. Cause like judging it solely based on that trailer that they showed us, that shit
Breath
looks.
of the Wild trailer.
Yeah, the Breath of the Mild, like the Black and Mild, like that shit was not. That shit was not pulling
Damn.
for me. You know, it looked like the vision was there, but the execution wasn't. And that's gonna take more than like a year of dev time. You know.
Well, I
from
mean,
what
think
they
about
showed
it.
us.
If core development on this game started after Sword and Shield dropped, because the DLCs are so small that I guarantee they didn't have the entire team working on the Sword and Shield DLCs. So, I mean, if they've had all the time, because Game Freak's not working on the remakes, if core development started right after Sword and Shield came out, then this really could realize a lot of the potential. Like, I don't think this is the one game to rule them all. Like, I don't think there's going to be multiplayer trading, battling.
No, fuck no.
Like,
No, this is gonna be a single player like thing. If you're lucky, you might be able to meet up in like a hub world or some shit to look at each other.
but yeah, but for what it is and just how good it looks as far as anything we've gotten from Pokemon in a while, as somebody who's just played everything Pokemon, like still plays Pokemon Go on a regular basis for some reason, Legends Arceus just looks like the best thing we've gotten. Like, I'm inspired looking at the art, like the box art. Like, I want to go on that adventure that game is selling.
That box art is dope, but I just hope they're not selling us a dream. You know what I'm saying? They keep pushing this like this kind of Breath of the Wild like agenda.
Dog, this shit could be a solid 6 and I'd be fine. Like, Sword and Shield,
No,
like,
I don't
while I
got time
played
for
the
a
shit out of...
6. You know,
yeah,
I
I
don't got
did
those
the shit out of
$70 for a
Shield.
fucking 6. You know,
It's got Cyndaquil as one of the starters in this one, and I need that to be.
Yeah,
I need this to be not a
Cyndaquil,
6.
Oshawott, and Rowlet are the
I
starters.
know,
So
but I can't play a bad game with my favorite starter in it.
well, you
Yeah.
can.
Are we all going
I could.
Cyndaquil? Let's say hypothetically all of us get Pokemon Legends.
Oh, I'm
Arceus.
going Rowlet.
You're going Rowlet, Jalen. What are you going?
Turns into an archer.
Probably Cyndaquil if I'm being 100.
You going Cyndaquil? So you, me, Chris, Cyndaquil, Al. I know you've been out of Pokemon for a long time, but this is canonically the earliest Pokemon game. They're in like feudal Sinnoh region.
Or an Oshawott. I would also go Oshawott. Otter looking motherfucker.
I don't even know my options.
Cyndaquil is Gen 2, so
So
yeah, Cyndaquil was one of the ones from.
So
Gold.
there's a little. Is he like a fox?
You got an owl, a fire
Like a
porcupine, and an otter.
Yes.
There you go.
Those
Fire
things.
porcupine.
Oh, the little otter. I'll
Oshawott.
take the little otter.
Oshawott.
I feel like he was never really
that
a
turns
good
into a
pick.
samurai, like straight up. It's I think it. What's his name? Samurott, the fully evolved version.
Yep.
Of Oshawott?
Sam, you right?
Samuel Ulysses Rye.
With his Katana.
And his
The
black
strongest
dynamite.
weapon known to man.
Very, very
A
Discord
Katana?
specific references.
Right, yeah. We're in the drunken, like, ramblings of a PSN party stage of the episode.
Mhm. Oh,
All right.
my one more thing though. That whole IGN situation. I know we never touched on it. Do y'all know about that? Have y'all seen
Yeah.
what happened with it?
Talk about
Yeah, so I was actually convinced, like, fully after we had some deep conversations yesterday.
First
as
and
part of
foremost,
Jalen's birthday celebration.
Free Palestine. Like,
Yeah. I was unsure. I was uneducated to fully be like, I mean, is this something I'm really trying to say? But then after I was like, look, y'all,
colonialism.
I'm
oppression.
ignorant here. Let
Right.
me like, y'all fill me in. You guys are more informed than I am. What's the deal? I got filled in on the deal, and yeah, Free Palestine. This is fucking genocide. Like, support,
Period.
like,
100.
innocent people are fucking, civilians are being fucking killed. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
This
Like
is
that's unjustifiable. Like that is like the definition of racial cleansing. You know what I'm saying? And like on top of that, like you took and annexed their land and like you're condemning them for living. That's never okay. So IGN, they came out and like showed support in Palestine. That actually kind of like opened the floodgates up for like smaller, or like just different gaming industry like sources to come out and kind of like put out the same thing. Like, yo, here's how you can support. Here's like what's going on. Just, you know, for people who don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And basically, like the next day, I want to say, like they took
Like
all that
that
shit
night.
down. Like not Palestine, but IGN Israel started condemning them. Like, yo, these niggas is wildin'.
The
We don't
crazy
agree
thing
with
about
them.
IGN Israel is like, it's just kind of like a licensing thing. It's not even like a branch of IGN. Like, IGN is a American-based company, and they could just kind of license the name IGN out to another gaming outlet in Israel. So it's not even really like, who knows? Like, there's some shady shit going on there. Like, there's something in the water. Like,
You know what's in the water? It's money. That's what it always is. Because
right,
if you look
that's
at
the
it,
bad
who
taste.
is perverting the, you know what I'm saying?
America.
Fuck yeah. Like, come on. Like,
What's
that's
what's
what
this?
it boils down to.
Military
Like, oh,
industrial
fuck.
complex? What?
What?
Never,
Like,
never
we make
heard
so
of
much-
you.
We make so much
Pharmaceutical
off of that, we give the extras to our cops just so they could harass blacks and browns? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Couldn't
So
be.
after that happened, of course IGN took all that shit down, and like against these editors' like wishes or whatever, right? So like all the editors and like a lot of the staff, they went and signed an open letter and put that out there, and basically started airing that shit out. Like, yo, that was grimy as fuck. And so now there's there's some pushback. So it's
I mean,
Of course.
yeah, I haven't been able to follow it just because of like the sheer like boatload of news that's been happening this week, and plus having
Oh,
time
apparently
to like,
they wrote about it, but IGN Israel didn't really have anything to do with this.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, IGN Israel is like another gaming site that is just basically paying IGN to use the name IGN.
right.
I
But the point is, like,
like,
the call still came down from the higher ups to get the managers
yeah, the
to
calls
pull
right.
to pull these articles from their like workers and shit. like basically going against like the hard work that they put in to like collect all those
Against
resources
ethics of journalism, against
Yes,
like
yes, all the type
Oh,
of work that you don't want to deal with, like working in the media. Like, come on now, like that's just not cool.
But yeah, I'm sure if you just Google support Palestine, you can find a link. I don't have a link handy right now, but I mean, even if you are completely oblivious to the situation, like I was until very recently, like I heard stuff was happening, but I wasn't just in the know enough to be informed on that. Like, take the time to inform yourself, because like even if you end up having a differing opinion to ours, like at least you'll be more educated and you'll be making that decision from a place of education and understanding, and not from a place of ignorance and just like propaganda or just like whatever. I know there are a lot of echo chambers.
I don't
out
see
there,
how
like,
you could be against having people not murder people, and children.
But you know, there are people out there that support the Israeli side. Now, I don't want that. Like, if you're making that decision from an informed place and there are reasons, like if you have a family member in Israel right now and like there's mandatory
a lot
service
of
and
a lot
all
of the
this
youth
stuff.
in Israel is like speaking out against that. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, yeah, that is the other thing.
that
The
is
fact
the
that
thing.
there's a difference between the people and the government, as we know all too well here in the States. Like, there is a very huge divide between those who represent us and those who are being represented, allegedly. So, yeah, I mean, we're all fully aware of the fact that at the end of the day, I mean, I've become more accepting to views that are differing to my own, just so I can be like understand like both sides of the argument. I usually still end up on the left side. I usually still lean liberal. Like, at the end of the day, like my moral compass usually points left, you know, like
It's almost like we just want people to eat, be safe, and happy. It's almost like the most basic thing.
That's it.
Right.
Right, but I mean, at the same time, when I listen to people who are on the right, who aren't psychopaths, who aren't fanatics, who aren't fucking genocidal maniacs, who aren't white supremacists, but people who are just simply on the right due to like different circumstances of life, or like growing up differently, or having different experiences, like there's a lot of interesting things you can learn from like just listening to those people.
Right.
Because
my thing about that though is like a lot of times we say that, but that other side doesn't do the same.
But there are people on the other side that are completely willing to have these conversations.
Yeah, but like I don't know, some of this shit that I see people trying like, you know, play both sides or sit on the right side of certain arguments. I'm like, that should be like an iron like an iron fucking line, you know what I'm saying? Like that should be a hard like.
But that's how you that's literally putting segregation into a situation where we're trying to have unity and understanding. Like if you have the preconceived notion that we have nothing in common, we have no similarities, like you are a completely different person than me, then you and that person will never be able to like truly get onto like an equivalent level with each other and have like an open, honest conversation.
I will never agree with somebody like bombing kids.
That's true. Like I'll give you that. Like and
that's my thing.
But there are also levels to this shit. Like there's a difference between like being like, yeah, bomb those kids, and like somebody being like,
well, okay, there has to be a reason those kids are being bombed, right? We should explore that. No, like, yeah, we should explore the main.
There's no devil's advocate for bombing kids. That's just not a thing.
Right.
Right.
People try to play up the whole devil's advocacy thing, and a lot of times it's like a lack of somebody just taking accountability and really understanding.
Am I the only one that lost Madrid?
I was about to say, I think the algorithm got him. Simulation came from again.
He was spitting a little too
loud.
loud.
He was talking too loud.
It's not even Kingdom
I'll take
Hearts
it a little
this
bit
time.
while we wait.
Damn.
We used to every time we
Discord-
would talk about
Discord
Kingdom
just
Hearts,
quieted
something would
Madrid.
break, and like Discord just like I'm gonna.
I'll get off my
Damn.
soapbox.
Well, back to you guys' point, I feel like a lot of times when people do err on the side of the right, and I hate to say this and I don't want to use it as an excuse, but like they're getting fed media that's, you know, heavily on the right side. So they often don't really see like, okay, these people are bombing kids and families that's sitting in their homes. They're not thinking like that. They're thinking like, you know, these are quote unquote, and I don't even want to say the word because
like,
yeah, exactly.
Claim it's about race when it's not, and it's all a bunch of lies.
Exactly.
They get people to be
right.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
and I completely
it
get
has
you. That's
nothing
why
to
I
do
said
with
as
me.
long as something's not being fueled by propaganda and like going overboard like that, like I feel like the most positive thing you can have about having an open conversation with someone who disagrees with you is you learning something from them and them learning something from you. So if you're able to help them understand the left, the same way like some of these things that happen on the right are just like crazy out of this world, like I can't even conceptualize supporting this. Like I'm sure there's stuff that we're doing on the left and like a lot of things that we've like wanted and have just wanted for the betterment of people, like
Yeah, but those like some things shouldn't really be an argument, you know? Like why are old white men controlling what women do with their bodies? Like the whole abortion thing, like even if some of it's religiously charged, that should still be the person's choice. And it's not like our whole country is under, you know, Christianity, you know?
right.
Again,
Or is it?
It's not about
Or
religion.
is it?
Like
It's never been about religion.
it's just been about controlling
That's
somebody
true
else.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Preserving the workforce, you know. But that's a
Right.
that's
The way to
different
keep the
story for a
poor
different
poor.
day.
Yeah, let's up the energy a little bit before we like just leave everybody in like existential dread. Al, like, well, I'll ask you the one question that we usually ask a bunch of our guests, and unless I'm just too incoherent to ask them, most people get this. It's one of the hardest questions for a gamer to answer unless you're prepared. So you're about to just, we're gonna feel your thought process through this because you're gonna throw out some names. You're gonna start brainstorming. What is your favorite game of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having
Right.
existential dread right
Welcome
now.
to this episode of Hot Ones. I'm your host, Sean.
Based on my history of the games that I've played and the franchise that I've dedicated the most time to, I have to say Grand Theft Auto San
Okay.
Andreas.
Oh
No way.
shit!
I
Hey,
have to
here
say
we go.
A classic.
That's fair.
I like
That's
that
fair.
enthusiastic. That's fair.
Right, Chris is fine.
I
I'm
put
with
Vice
this
City
one.
up there too, but Just the-
season now.
Right.
So what is it about San
PS2?
Andreas? Is it just like the story, like the characters?
Oh my God, do we
Yes.
have all night? Okay. No. So I think one of the most funnest things that I like about San Andreas is the ability that you can customize TJ. Like you can
Yeah.
take him to the gym and put
That's-
on muscle mass. Yes. Another thing that I love about the series that I hate that they didn't bring back was the ability to date. I miss like taking Denise. I don't know if you guys remember from San Andreas. You used to be able to take Denise out, you know, shoot up a bunch of people. Like who doesn't like that?
I can't imagine who would, you know.
Yeah, it's like the perfect game. No, but I hope that speaking of, I hope that Rockstar like takes the same elements from San Andreas and 5 and kind of blend them together so we can get like a complete world instead of what they've been giving us, because that's out and it's dead.
Yeah, I've never played GTA Online, but is that kind of have any of those type of mechanics?
I wouldn't say fully. I would say like it's a diet version. The only thing I do like about online is that you're able to like own your own businesses, which is not something that I don't think we've seen in the past in other GTAs. And the ability to like customize your cars, like they brought back that didn't go anywhere. But other than that, no, we need a new game.
Well, they're still milking
With
That's
a
what
lot of customization.
Yeah, I mean the PS5
It's
patch is coming out
just
soon
making
enough.
it up.
Yeah.
It's not even a patch; it's a whole version.
God.
The
Fuck.
PS5, you know. So Al, like, where do you fall on the spectrum of gaming? Are you like a handheld gamer, PC, PlayStation, Xbox? Like, where do you fall?
Where's
and like,
your
what was
home?
kind of like your what was your upbringing? Because like I came up on Nintendo, and then I got to a certain point, and I'm PlayStation all the way now. So like,
Yeah. Okay. I started off with PlayStation, and I had a PlayStation all the way up until PlayStation 3, and I got an Xbox for that. And then I went back to PlayStation after
That's the
that,
formula.
but now I basically am a
That's the best formula right there.
you leave, you come right back. But now I'm basically a PC gamer, so it's nothing that I won't play on PC. Apex on PC, Overwatch on PC, everything on PC.
you got your 144 hertz and 4K, and your anti.
That's right.
Unlock FPS.
Yeah, y'all speaking a different
Yes.
language.
Don't worry, Madrid. You'll
PlayStation
understand.
controller.
I actually helped friend of the podcast, Radic by Nature. I helped him like identify something that was wrong with his computer because like he's like, yeah, my computer got struck by lightning and it hasn't been right since. And I was like, I'm expecting to open this computer and something's melted. Something's like, I'm like, oh. No, you could probably just plug a DisplayPort cable into your graphics card instead of an HDMI cable, and you could probably just, instead of trying to use a wireless dongle, like a USB dongle, like, on a, like, tower computer, you could just get, like, a PCIe Bluetooth Wi-Fi card, and you'll probably be super set going forward with just those two minor changes.
So Al,
It's like a $20 project.
What
Both
is-
of those things combined.
what is it about PC for you right now? What is it that's doing it? Is it the custom, like how are you able to customize it, or just what's up?
I would say that like you don't have to worry about getting upgrades, ever so often. Like I've had my PC now for probably 6 years or so. So that and the games are just better. And I hate to say it because I know a lot of people don't feel the same way, but when it comes to ADS, aiming and getting your shots together, like you're not going to be able to compete on a controller. And I know people are going to hate me for it, but you're not going to be able to compete with a controller with mouse and keyboard. It's just
Well,
not
I mean,
happening.
with crossplay, I've
So-
realized the kind of shots that PC players get off. And I'm
that's
aware,
just not
like,
cool. You get Krabered from across the map. It's
Exactly.
like I've been trying to get myself more acclimated. Like I've had my PC for a couple of years at this point, and I'm still not fully like. It's just something in my brain. Like I've spent so much time on a controller, on a gamepad, understanding that control scheme, aiming with the right stick. I've just spent literally like decades at this point of playing on a controller that I don't. Switching over to PC is just not clicking for me. And I get like. So my PC was my best way to run third-party games for like a good little minute. Like PS4 Pro, my PS4 Pro was kind of going through the motions. Like things are running at higher frame rates, higher resolutions on my PC. But then now that since I've gotten a PS5 and I have ray tracing and I have higher FPS and I have like Destiny 60 FPS, that shit just hits. And you got like PC's had it for a long time at this point. But yeah, for me right now, my most powerful gaming machine is my PS5. And so I could maybe one day I'll come over to PC because for a long time I was like, I just don't get Xbox. Like, I started that generation of, like, PS3 360. I started that with the PS3. Because it was just like Xbox is just kind of on a different wavelength than like what I'm doing and the games that I'm playing. Like a lot of the games that I was playing at the time were PlayStation exclusives. And that wasn't like first party stuff necessarily, even though there was like Little Big Planet, God of War. There was stuff like that that was first party that I was playing, but then there was also third party stuff that just was arbitrarily PlayStation exclusive.
Like what? Actually, I
During
retract
the
that.
PS.
No, I'd retract that. This will be a big conversation. I retract.
Right,
that
yeah. Chris
question.
is like, let me not start
I did this
another-
last week. and I
Hey, right,
really
you know,
regret
right,
it.
right. Yeah, well-
fanboy.
I made the joke that he called me a Sony pony, and everybody was hoping that he had actually called me a Sony pony out loud on the podcast.
good.
Oh, noted for next time.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to buy a PlayStation 5.
Heck,
Yeah,
that's just the
Sony
new
phone.
term for a Sony fanboy now. That's just what it is.
We got your Xbox versus your Sony ponies.
I can never be an Xbot. All right, so Al, are you working on anything you want to promote? Like, you got like a Twitch channel, a YouTube, a, you know, Spotify. Like, are you out here?
Yeah.
Get a mixtape.
Right?
Oh, okay. I need to drop the SoundCloud. No. If you want to keep up with any of my projects or anything I'm creating, probably the best site is going to be my website. So alrahlo.com. I'm getting into photography and all kinds of things. So it's kind of like a repository so I can chart my progress and see how far I can grow.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, remember you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Anton6 with 3 X's. Chris.
You can follow me at Chef and Chris.
Jalen.
Squid Bishop.
Madrid.
3-piece set pod. Also, Speedwagon X. Fuck it.
All right. And Al, one more time for all the marbles. Where can people find you? Where's outside of your website? What's the best social media to
Drop all your ads.
Twitter at Alrahlo. ALRAH.
and alrahlo.com, spelled the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Until next time, this has been a No It's Good production. The video version is edited by Fauna Twisted Mind. The audio version is edited by Akumasanti. Until next time, keep it